Welcome back to Crane's Bar and Grill, and I guess we're going to do episode 5 of The Rings of Power. I'm going to have to watch the recap on this one because, a lot of this stuff is not that memorable. I've slept since then, so I'm trying to remember, I kind of know what was going on, but I can't remember exactly where everything left off. So I'm going to watch that real quick. Pretty sure I remember, I'm just not exactly sure. So let's see. That's right. They had Mithril and the trees. Yeah, and then the dwarves. When Linden, Isildur through his thing, through the test. They're in the tower. Then you had Adar let Arindir go. And he went back to Broadwyn and saved her son. Oh, that's right. They're serving. I was thinking about that when he said, I'll serve. They were like, I'll serve. They don't already, when they say I'll serve, they don't already have like any kind of army or anything. I mean, so they're going to have to train just regular people to go fight in a war in the Southlands and Middle Earth. I would think they'd already have a military. I'm talking about Numenor. Numenor wouldn't already have a military. Why would they need, I'll serve. Are you going to send those troops up against Sauron that's never been trained? That's kind of weird. But the Harfoots, besides the meteor dude, the Harfoots are kind of, I don't know, boring, pointless. They're kind of mean people for one thing. They don't wait for their own kind. I mean, it would help them to keep on going. So he's getting better at their language. And who else could he be? I'm trying to figure out who. It can't be Sauron. I guess, they can make him get up. It would be weird. When did Radagast come over? And I haven't seen him really interested in animals, really, but Saruman. I don't think Saruman had come down in a comet.
Might help us move faster if we sang us your mom's walking song. The sun is fast falling beneath trees of stone. They trade all I've known for the unknown ahead. Call to me, call to me.
It's beautiful cinematography, though. And I love the use of maps too, because I always like the map of Middle Earth. Is that the only trip they couldn't have gone around that? They have to go through it? But the map's still not telling me where they are. I mean, in the overall Middle Earth, it's too narrowed in. Isildur and the Braids, never heard of that. Beautiful cinematography again, though. That is amazing. It's really nice. I kind of like this montage. It's getting where it needs to go without wasting a bunch of time. See the man in the moon? This doesn't sound good. Who is this? I remember seeing pictures of, not that, not her, or her, but her, him, her. Is that a her? I've seen pictures of her. That's not good music, so there must be bad guys. Wonder who they are?
The tunnel is complete, my lord.
What do they need the tunnel for?
Your arm. Show it to me. How does it feel?
Like fire.
I wish you could feel like I do. Soon it will be gone.
And with it, the part of me that knew its warmth as well.
I shall miss it. Summon the legions. It is time.
Soon it will be gone. The sun will be gone, or are they going to block it out? Because a lot of it says to center around the Southlands, so is that going to be like, he's not Mordor. I mean, he's Mordor. He's not Sauron, I don't think. But is, because, Mordor is all cloudy and the orcs can walk around and everything because it's all covered in shadow. Is he helping Sauron? Does he know Sauron? And why are they listening to her? Why is she just in charge all of a sudden? Like I said, why are they listening to her? Is she... Well, what choice do they have? They can run, or they can sit there and die. I mean, they don't have much choice. Or you can leave. You can't fix stupid, you know. I don't think he's going to leave his mom. See, I like that story there. And Numenor's not bad. It's just Galadriel gets in the way. Because I know that's not her story. I got to think of somebody besides Galadriel, so it wouldn't ruin the story. But I love his voice. Arendil, I love his voice. Why do they need volunteers? Don't they have an army? I think he wants her gone so he can take over. And see, that's why they're always trying to make, like Galadriel, she's gonna fight like she's, a great warrior and all that stuff like that. That's where the power of a woman lies. All she had to do is touch his hand and tell him to speak louder, and he's gonna do it. She didn't have to pick up a sword. She didn't have to threaten him. She didn't have to punch him or anything like that. That's the power of a woman. They can just... That's the power of a woman. They can, at certain times, they can just say something like that, and they can do something and make you believe and make you do it. So he's a blacksmith. That's Sauron, and Sauron is the deceiver. Sauron is the right, and he told Galadriel how to fool them, but then Galadriel's easy to manipulate because she's all anger. And she wants Sauron, and you can lead her anywhere you want to go. And Gil-galad wanted her to leave so she wouldn't stir Sauron, and because of her actions, she's going to give Sauron just what he wants if he's Sauron.
Your fellowship will prove just as invaluable once you make landfall.
I don't know, I still think if he's Sauron and this is a big plan, that's a Sauron plan. It's deceiving. Really? Quit! Don't be jumping like that.
In the mud,
That doesn't look good. Ah, there they come. They kind of like their jump scares in this one, don't they? Well, that's not going to protect you. Okay. I wonder who he is, because... Oh, did he hurt him? Hurt himself. He did like a... It's like a Marvel hit. Punch on the ground. So they're not trained, but they're going to go to war?
To kill an orc. Come at me.
Well, of course, we're going to have to see Galadriel's sword fight, because that's why we watch Galadriel, see her sword fight.
I will promote.
No, that's not why I watch Galadriel.
To lieutenant.
I still just love his voice. I can't help it. But you see this in movies where they fight with, they train with like real swords. What if one of them were to accidentally cut Galadriel's head off by just a lucky hit? She slipped on something she didn't see. They wouldn't fight with real swords. That's dumb, you know? Or she slipped, they didn't kill her, but one of them slipped and fell on their own sword. Then you just wasted a good soldier. They just wanted it. They wanted a fun sword fight.
Plant roots.
Like then, what if he fell down into their swords and died? I want to make Galadriel seem cool. But Galadriel wouldn't need a sword fight.
Well done, Lieutenant.
Your cousin may hold the scepter, but it's you the people follow.
Sometimes the folly of youth is enough to make an old man weep.
Is it folly to try and stop a war?
It's folly to kick against the current.
Don't tell me you couldn't sway Miriel's mind now.
And what makes you think Miriel's mind and my own are not as one in this?
Because my father would sooner die than take orders from an elf.
He wants Miriel to leave so he can be in charge. Look him in the eye, be a man.
Orders from an elf.
I like the guy that plays him. He plays him good.
Oh, my cousin can go to war for Galadriel if she wishes. I go to war for Numenor.
How could this be for Numenor?
Soon we will save the low men of Middle-earth, lift them up, and give them the king they've long awaited. A king who will be forever in our debt. Wars, forests, trade, tribute. I wouldn't dare stop that, not for all the salt in the sea.
I still think he's planning on taking over and maybe getting her killed. Maybe getting her killed. Yeah, see, in Tolkien's world, when people say stuff like that, you got to listen. Because normally they've foreseen it or they feel it or something, and it usually comes true. It's kind of like taking an oath in Middle-earth, like when the Durin and Elrond did a thing. That's a serious thing. You can't break that. What was he doing? Healing himself?
Everyone's talking about what she did. Brought you some beeswax. Slather some on that paw, she'll help with the tenderness. Hey.
That wasn't a good idea. Think before you do. Is it not cold? Or is her hand just stuck? When he's in a trance like that, he seems to do stuff. You might want to stay away until he finishes. Was she afraid of him now? She knew what he did stuff. Who is he though? Oh, the trees are moving. I mean, are the writers of this show really that clever? That they might be. That they all these little signs like that could be Radagast. The trees are moving. Maybe they like him.
I have an honest inquiry for you.
Why does Gil-galad seem like a douche?
The table.
Why do you ask?
We consider each to be a precious gift.
Gil-galad seems a little douchey. Elrond seems like a normal person, and
for the most sacred
Celebrimbor
monuments.
Always seems a little nervous or
tombs
something. I don't know.
To our honored dead.
Please forgive our sacrilege, Lord Durin. We shall have to send it home with you, so it can be treated with the proper respect.
It's good to know there's still some honor left among the elves.
Are you familiar with the Song of the Roots of Ithaglir?
An obscure legend, regarded by most to be apocryphal.
Recount it, Elrond Peredel.
It speaks of a battle, not over honor or duty, but over a tree, within which some claim was hidden the last of the lost Silmarils.
Why would a Silmaril be in a tree? You had Erendil had one. He's a star. You had someone I can't remember what it was to it in the sea, and another one.
Warrior.
Like
the heart is pure as Manwë.
Did he throw it into like a pit of fire or jumped in himself or something like that?
Channeled all his hatred.
Why would it be in
the
a tree
to destroy
anyway?
it. The Amidst their duel unending, lightning ensnared the tree.
It's really cool looking. I don't remember that in.
Forging of their conflict.
Is that in Lord of the Rings?
They say it seeped down the roots into the mountain depths, where for centuries now it has waited.
That's not a true thing. The Light of the Lost Silmaril, that's not how Mithril was. I don't even think he said how Mithril was. I guess you could make it up, because I don't even think he said how Mithril was made. It's just there. They just found it. I do remember, is it Celebrimbor, I believe? Didn't he had Mithril turned it into, or made a different alloy or something out of it, and I know he helped the dwarves design the door there, the door that glowed in Lord of the Rings. I don't remember them saying that it some tree thing and Light of a Silmaril created Mithril. I don't remember that. I don't think I would have remembered something like that.
An outer manifestation of an inner reality. That the light of the Eldar, our light, is fading.
So if they would get Sauron, it comes back because they're there for another couple thousand years.
Or not.
I don't think everyone's going to tell him.
To Durin. To some, that may now hold little weight, but in my esteem, it is by such things our very souls are bound.
If the elves abandon Middle-earth now, the armies of darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
Thinking of something. So if you see the look on my face when I'm watching these things, I'm trying to put stuff together. Oh, that's Erendil. That's got the Silmaril in his forehead there. So we're back in Numenor again? Yeah.
Now please bring me with you. No. What'll it take to make this right? Fine, you get a free hit. Jaw, gut, your choice, one hit.
Oh, that changed his mind quick, didn't it? He's been wanting to hit him.
Actually,
1, 2, boom, there you go.
that felt like 3.
Here he's just gonna sneak on board. Oh, that's, what's his face? I'm sure he didn't swim with all that on. I'm sure he had the little boat. Why would he need to sneak on board? Couldn't he just be, I guess maybe he didn't want to be seen if he's gonna sabotage stuff.
Are you stowing away?
Yeah. And what are you doing, Mr. Making the oil leak out?
Hand me the lantern. Don't.
Well, now who actually started the fire? Boom. Wouldn't it just burn? It wouldn't explode, really, would it? Could they have gunpowder or something? Wouldn't it just burn?
Fortunate if we didn't lose the rest of the ships as well.
This was clearly an attempt to kindle your doubts, Queen Regent. Do not let it.
I'm forced to disagree with the elf. Perhaps we did act in haste. Kingdom should be led, not dragged. I recommend.
Are you really a queen regent or a queen if you have to convince them to go? Don't you just make your army go?
Remember why you chose this path. Remember your
Or is he trying to get rid of people that they know may be sympathetic or could be sympathetic to the elves? Get them out of here. Keep the less brave and the less rah-rah people,
He awaits our departure.
you know,
I'm sure he
let
does.
those people go.
This Mithril. It is our only salvation. Elrond, I have tested it. Under every duress. Nothing.
That could be the only salvation of the elves.
We believe
And he needed those forges, but what? I don't remember that he was in a hurry
every last elf
to build the rings or to build something. Why is he in a? Why is he in a? Why are they in a rush?
Yes.
Is it just because the tree's going? What is that? It's not a broom. It's not sweeping anything. What is that? That's just making lines in the dirt.
I was wrong to use you.
That was silly.
For that I am sorry.
Not so long ago, men like me were fighting alongside them.
Men like you, not you yourself.
She's always mad, just always. That's it. That's her only character trait, is that she's angry.
You don't know what I did before I ended up on that run. You don't know how I survived. How we all survived. And when these people discover it, they will cast me out.
Sometimes to find the light.
Why doesn't her mouth hardly move? Most people talk like this and their mouth moves. She just talks sometimes. Some people just. She just talks like this and the thing, okay? Like she's always just
Whose dagger was it, Galadriel?
pissed.
Who is it you lost?
My brother.
What happened to him?
He was killed. In a place of darkness and despair. By servants of Sauron. Is that enough for you?
Oh, so this is about vengeance?
One cannot satisfy
Yeah,
thirst by
basically.
drinking seawater.
Then what is it? Why do you keep fighting? Why do you keep fighting?
Because I cannot stop. I have fought for centuries seeking to earn mine. This is how you earn yours.
Over centuries, but you're still someone who can get pissed and easily led. I still think he's Sauron, and this is a setup. The harder she pushed to get him to go, the more it seems like he couldn't be a bad guy. I had to really, really push him to get him to do anything. Couldn't have been a bad guy.
Long have I awaited this day. The day your kind would return at last. I pledge my loyalty to Sauron. You are Sauron, are you not?
Is he going to just kill him, or is he going to actually take him into his service? Does he think he even needs them?
I'll serve you then, whoever you are.
Only blood can bind.
Walter, no.
He's not Sauron.
No.
He's going to be like, sorry, I guess I got to kill you. He's that guy. He only cares about himself.
Lift your aim next time.
Don't be so afraid of the string. Why bother trying to teach me?
Develop the bravery that's keeping me standing here tonight. And we're going to need another fight to come.
All my life your kind has watched us, counting every whisper. So why be buried with us?
Because in counting the whispers and the knives, I've come to know.
See, this story's interesting because you don't know where it's going to go.
Half of us just left.
But half stayed.
Something I like about him. I don't know what it is. I wonder what else he's been in. I was going to show him.
I've seen this before.
Is that Sauron?
Conjured by some forgotten craft of the enemy to enslave your ancestors.
Why makes him think it's a key?
Look around. It's over.
Not yet.
Soon enough.
Don't be a quitter.
And when they march upon us, this tower will fall.
This tower will fall. What? Is that an idea? Did they come up with an idea they're not going to let the rest of us know? Are they going to make the tower collapse or something? And then escape out the back door or something like that? This tower will fall. The scenery is beautiful. It's way up there. I didn't know it was that far up there. Those elves are so... Yep, he's giving the table back. That's got to be heavy.
You made it up, didn't you?
Whoa.
Disa's been wanting a new table for years, so...
Come
on, it's not that heavy.
I like
It's not the
these
weight of
two
the
together.
table that burdens me.
Oh, Owl's beard! Enough with the quail sauce. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
He's got to stand up.
I have not been truthful
I like these two.
with you, Durin. I did not know it, but I came for Mithril.
Why?
Without it, my kind must either abandon these shores by spring or perish.
Perish? How?
Our immortal souls will slowly diminishing until we are but shadows, swept away by the tides of time.
So the fate of the entire elven race is in my hands.
So it would appear.
Say that again.
The fate of the entire elven race
That doesn't
is
sound
in your
right.
hands.
Whose hands?
He's looking at... I do like them together.
Yours.
Who said? That seems awful.
Fetch your feathery shirts. Let's start walking.
Durin.
Don't thank me yet.
Under one condition. Tell Disa the table's from me.
Don't push your luck, Elf.
I like them too. Why is the king creeping? I like their helmets. The armor, these breastplates instead of just the solid scales. Because I get the scale thing as it's Numenor, the sea, but there should be a solid breastplate to offset the scales. It would look better, especially in that blue, because that's just too solid one color. But I mean, but I like the helmets. I like the music, but I don't love it. It's not. I don't think it's something I'll remember. Like, dun, 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 dun. I don't think I'll remember that. I'm like Lord of the Rings. I hear that. I go, I know exactly what that's from. I don't know if I remember that.
Stable sweep.
Yeah, you gotta laugh at that. You can't take that serious. So that music is building like that's supposed to be some grand entrance and Galadriel's on board, and I don't feel it. I don't feel it at all from her character. Now, if it was Kate Blanchett and she was in just not in armor and the thing she was coming on as, I probably would have felt that she had that air of, she looks like another soldier just coming on board. She doesn't look like anything different. And that, like I said, I don't like her armor either. It's not elegant enough. It's like just regular medieval armor. I like his helmet. It reminds me of the helmets in the Return of the King and the Gondor. I still think he's going to turn out to be somebody bad. Like I said, I like the music, but it's not going to be real memorable, I don't think. But we'll see. Like I was thinking, if you had Pharazôn, whenever Halbrand was talking to him in the cell and said, let Galadriel go up there, and then you know where she's going. If he may, I wonder if we get a flashback where Halbrand was talking to Pharazôn again and said, no, you need to go with and let them go to Middle-earth. We'll win. And that's why he's looking up those maps and stuff, because he knows, he may know he's Sauron or he may not. Because he knows if I get over there, Halbrand, if I get over there and I'm the leader, if I turn out to be the king or I'm the king, then we'll have trade, and I'll make sure, you have, we've got all, like I said, trees and ore and all that stuff like that, man. I wonder if that will help you take power from her, because look what you did. You know, maybe, or when we get over there, I'll make sure she doesn't come back, or we kill her or something. I wonder if that could be a plan behind that, or Halbrand could just be a good guy and be the king. That might be kind of boring though. You got Celebrimbor with the rings. Celebrimbor with the rings. So why? Sauron's going to help him with it. So why? I'm not sure. But that tree is whatever, so it's making them where he's got to do something. And Celebrimbor, I believe, he wanted to make something beautiful, something that would make the elves thing beautiful longer, or last, or give them, their kingdoms, or help their realms live longer, or something like that. Make something, keep things beautiful. So if he may convince them you need to make the rings because look what's happening. But that would have already had to have been set in motion. Because when we met the elves and them, they were, Celebrimbor and Gil-galad already knew what was going on. They were going to send Elrond there. So could Sauron have already started talking to them? We just haven't seen him yet there. He could have been there. We could get flashbacks where he could have already been there talking to them. He could have done something to the tree, or because he's there, it's making the land sick. He could have already talked to them. And if it is Halbrand, then he could have set that in motion, then left. Could have left and then went to Numenor. Now he's setting this up, and now he's coming back. But who's Eddar? Is he one of Sauron's servants? Does Sauron even know about him? Did Sauron also set him in motion also? Manipulating everything? Set him in motion also to do what he's doing? Does he even know Sauron set him in motion? Is he friends with Sauron? So I could see how Sauron could have set that up with the elves, then left him. He may even set that up with Eddar, then went to the elves, then went to Numenor. Now he's on his way back for the whole plan to come together. That's if it's Halbrand. For the Numenorian part. Now he could have already seen with the elves, it could have been somebody totally different. But I'm still wondering who Meteor Dude is. Wonder who that dude is. Anyway, we'll find out the next one. When is the next one? This episode 5, episode 6 isn't out yet. What days do they come out? Because when I started watching these, there was already a few out. So by the time I finished watching a couple of them and, doing my watch through, the other ones were already out. And I wasn't even paying attention what day it came out. So, I like the Numenorian thing. I just don't like Galadriel's story at all, even though the main thing's supposed to be about her. That's the one part I don't like. Because it's not Galadriel. It's like a regular elf. I do like, Arondir and Bronwyn. Kind of like their story. It's pretty good. I just like him. And I like her. As far as I like the characters, I don't know if the story is pretty interesting with Adar and all them and the elves. I like the friendship between Elrond and Durin. So it's not a bad show. It's just every time they start showing the Harfoots, because Meteor Dude's not going anywhere. That story isn't advancing. And the Harfoots seem like horrible people that won't even help a friend. And then one of them wanted to take the wheels off and leave him behind. That's not somebody I can root for or get interested in. So you're just there to watch the Meteor Dude, and that hasn't gone anywhere. So that's part of the story I don't like. The part with Galadriel I don't really care for. But I think it's going to turn out that because of her, all this happens. Because all Galadriel did was she wanted her own kingdom. She wasn't all this mad all the time. She has this Galadriel has she's got anger, and that's it. There's nothing else about her character. So I do like, but Halbrand is a made up character, so I can see you manipulating that. That could, if let's go like I'm thinking, it could be pretty interesting if Halbrand is Sauron and he's manipulating all these things. That'd be kind of cool. But anyway, so I think this episode got it going a little better. I'm almost kind of looking forward to see what's going to happen. You know, but it took 5 episodes. Because like I said, episode 4, I had to go back and, before we watched this, I had to go back and rewatch what happened because I couldn't even really remember most of what happened in that one. So I had to go back and watch it. This one's pretty good. I think I'll remember this one. So, anyway, thanks for watching Crane's Bar and Grill, and I will see you next time. Have a good evening. Bye.